Ladies and gentlemen, Jake Paul has done it again. But this time he found himself in the crosshairs of none other than Joe Rogan. What did Jake Paul do that made Joe the podcast king and MMA legend slam him so hard? You won't believe what went down when Jake Paul rise to fame. Jake Paul, the name that been buzzing everywhere, from a YouTube sensation to stepping into the boxing ring, he'd been grabbing headlines left and right. Whether you love him or hate him, Jake has mastered the art of staying relevant. His bold attitude, outrageous claims, and celebrity fights have all made him a polarizing figure. But this time Jake did something that even had the legendary Joe Rogan calling him out. For those who don't know, Joe Rogan is not just any commentator. He's one of the most respected voices in MMA and combat sports. When Joe speaks, people listen to Jake's controversial moves. So what exactly did Jake Paul do that set Joe off? Jake, never one to shy away from controversy, recently made a move that shook the world of combat sports. In one of his recent events, Jake introduced a set of rules that some are calling an attempt to bend the sport to his advantage. Jake has always been a showman, but this move took things to a whole new level. These new rules included bizarre changes like adjusting the number of rounds and even suggesting leniency in certain fighting techniques. To many, it looked like Jake was trying to create a playing field that suited him. Fans were divided. Some thought Jake was being innovative, while others accused him of disrespecting the traditions of combat sports. And it didn't take long before Joe Rogan weighed in with his opinion. 3. Joe Rogan speaks out. Enter Joe Rogan. On his world-famous podcast, Joe didn't hold back. He voiced what many hardcore fans were thinking. Joe said, and I quote, "Jake Paul is making a mockery of the sport." Joe was clear. Jake's attempt to change the rules for his fights was an insult to fighters who spent years perfecting their craft. He accused Jake of being more focused on creating a spectacle than actually respecting the fight game. And if there's one thing Joe Rogan knows, it's fighting. Joe has spent years in the MMA world, from training to commentating, and when he speaks on combat sports, it's coming from experience and deep knowledge. For how Joe's words shocked the fight world, Joe's comments sent shockwaves through the MMA and boxing communities. Social media exploded with reactions. Fans and fighters took to Twitter, Instagram, and podcasts to share their thoughts. Some were glad that Joe had spoken up, while others defended Jake, saying he was just trying to innovate. One thing is clear, though: Joe Rogan words carry weight. And when he says that Jake Paul is doing harm to the sport, it's not something to be taken lightly. If you want to stay updated on all the latest drama, fights, and controversies, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We've got the inside scoop on everything going down in the world of combat sports.